You smoke a lot of ganja. You've got a Volkswagen tattoo on your leg. You use the word sick for things that don't really make you feel sick at all. And you've got tunnels in your ear so large that John Coffey could stick his penis straight through without even touching the sides. What are you going to buy? Of course it's this sick Volkswagen MK3 Golf GTI. Now before I can set off, I actually have to adjust my cap so it's slightly offset to one side, and then I have to adjust my seat into the VAG driving position to get that true Golf experience. No, not low enough. I think that'll do, yeah. So I can only just... Well, in fact, I can't see over the steering wheel. I can see through the gap between the steering wheel and the dashboard. That's fine. Let's go. And we're off. I can't even reach. I'm going to have to move the seat forward. That's it. Man, this is so dope. Actually, this is fucking awful. How does anyone drive like this? Oh jeez, I've nearly run a woman over doing a fucking plant. I can't see a thing, this is dangerous. I'll tell you what else. These VAG Volkswagen Golf people can't have many mates, because I tell you what, there's not a chance anyone's getting in the back. Right, no, we're going back to the normal driving position. This is not safe. I actually felt like a rear seat occupant. Right, we've actually arrived at quite a rough road here, so... Now as you can see, this car is very low. It's on coilovers, which means at some point in this car's life, one of the owners has chose to completely disregard the millions of Reichsmarks and thousands of man-hours Volkswagen have spent developing the suspension on this car so that it handles as well as possible while still being practical for road use, all because they think it looks sick. Which means that when you have to drive on a typical British road such as this, which is covered in potholes, covered in debris, sticks and stones, you actually have to hire a Vietnamese street child to walk ahead with one of those straw brooms to sweep all the debris out of the road, and a barrow full of road planings to fill all the potholes in as you go along, just to stop you completely totaling the front end of your car. Unfortunately, we don't have that luxury at the moment, so we'll just have to see how we go on. It's ideal for these tight bends, but Jesus, oh, I think I'm gonna have compound fractures in my spine after this. Oh, oh, shitty hell. Obviously this is a typical British road, you know. Oh no, a twig! It's going to break my front bumper off. Okay. Look, even the postman has to have a four-wheel drive van to get down this typical British road. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ah! Now we're on a much smoother piece of open road, and being the GTI model, we better see what it's like when you put your foot down. Yeah, it's disappointing actually. I mean, it doesn't go too badly, but I expected, you know, being a GTI, it'd throw me back in my seat, but well, it's average really. I mean, I've seen these described as a driver's car. Well, it's certainly a slow driver's car. It's not too bad, but if you were to buy this, you know, thinking, oh, I'm buying a Golf GTI, you know, power, fast, you'd be thoroughly disappointed. But if we forget it's a GTI and just treat it as a normal Golf, it does drive very well aside from these awful coilovers. It handles well, there's no knocks or bangs. You know, it's quite smooth. I can't really fault it as far as an old Golf goes. Well, we best have a look around the car. Now here we go again, look, obviously Volkswagen didn't spend years designing the front end of this car. So someone thought they'd do better and redesign the front end with these absolutely disgusting headlights. I've looked and they're about 150 quid a pair, so if I had a set to replace them with, they'd be going in the bin. And the first thing you notice when you open the bonnet is the amount of room. There's space to work on everything. This is how a car should look when you open the bonnet. Nice and simple. But anyway, we've got this 2 litre naturally aspirated engine with a whopping 116 brake horsepower when it was new. Oh, and here we go again. Obviously Volkswagen did know what they were doing when they designed the air filter for this car, so someone's decided to do a better job themselves. Let's have a look under here. Haha! This is actually the first petrol Volkswagen I've had where it doesn't look like a chimpanzee spunked all over the oil cap. Head gasket must be alright. But what's all this about? If you don't want to use your rear wiper, just don't use it. Why go to the trouble of taking it off? And who thinks, this plastic cap with grey hammerite on it looks better than the factory fitted wiper? Let's have a look in the boot. These must be the sandals that belong to the Vietnamese street child that was employed by the previous owner to sweep the road in front of him. Oh, of course one of the previous owners has gone off with the spare wheel, probably so they could wait in and get a tenner at the scrapyard, the little scratters. Bit of a strap there, that looks like something that one of the previous owners would have used to wrap round his arm before he injected himself with something. As you can see, the car's actually had a respray, but I quite like the colour. Looks a lot better than that silver that it came out of the factory with. Just a bit of rust starting under the rear window, but that's the only rust on the car actually. For a 26-year-old car, it's in very, very good condition. There's no dents anywhere or anything. Of course it's got these pressed plates to make it look more German, but that's how it starts. The next step is to cut the roof off, paint the whole thing in some splinter camouflage pattern so it looks like a Kubelwagen, dress yourselves in some early 1940s Hugo Boss attire, and drive round blasting Panzerlight out and repeat through the stereo system. Have a look inside. Oh, of course we've got those in there. It's quite clean inside actually. Not really much to see. It's on 156,000 miles, which is, I suppose it's not that high for the age of it. For some reason we've got electric window switches and a winder. You probably had to pay Volkswagen 500 quid to wire those in when it came out of the factory. Lots of paperwork and stuff, obviously being very well looked after. So the next service is due in the year 2000. It was actually last serviced in 2002, 105,000 miles. A lot of shit in there, look at these. Some sort of gasket. Well, I certainly won't be selling them with the car, they'll be going on eBay. In the back there's nothing, except an ashtray. Now the headlining in this car is quite interesting as it's covered in burgers. Now at first I thought this was pointless. Someone's wasted the time putting this up. Because let's face it, you're not even going to see it. When you're driving, you're looking straight ahead. You're not looking up there. But then I realised, when you're in the VAG driving position, they are straight ahead. So when you're sat there smoking that giant spliff, doped out of your head, and you start getting the munchies, these images are going to spur you on to endanger the lives of yourself and everyone else on the road to go on a spaced out death ride to your local kebab shop to satisfy your hunger. It does have a sunroof, which of course leaks very badly, and if you try closing this cover, all this stuff, just powdery stuff, just comes off and goes everywhere. So, if you are in the market for a fast, fun, reliable hot hatch, don't buy that. But if you are sick and you insist on having a Mark III Golf GTI, you won't find a better example than this one. So fetch £2.5 cash and drive it off to your local Friday night car meet up in a Morrison's car park and sit there all night with all the other fucking losers drinking a can of Monster.
Scabs on my lips and I get him. Nick it out of place. Don't just me, 9 pound barrels round the bay. Watching shops, you'll lead them on. 9.5 inch on the flop, noshing a crab souffle. Days paid for me. Hey, grab that top market, so